I've got to pick up a GWAC. Now, to those of you that know, you'll probably understand that that's from Project J. That's Discovery 1, first gen Discovery, from 1989.
Hi, I'm James. I work for Land Rover as a development engineer.
He's very kindly offered it to go towards my Discovery feature. And really, it's nice to spend time in an original bus. I know I've been in the very first Discovery. That's very nice, but I was kind of chaperoned and I could run free like a gazelle in the wilderness of Snowdonia. Oh my god, that was crap. Right, take 2. Whenever you like.
So the differences with pre-production Discoveries to actually standard, there was a few little things that never got carried over. So there was a change on the inside of the car, so a lot of them are on the inside. So the seats on the early pre-productions didn't have a run of stitching here, which everything on pre-production or production then did have. So that was a slight alteration and change. The bonnet release is normally on the passenger side. On all of the pre-production vehicles, it's on the driver's side. Another little thing
I didn't know that.
Carried over.
Okay.
As you move around to the back, on early vehicles you had a very smooth boot release handle. They then went to a textured one not long after in production, and also they shortened this back rubber, so they shortened that by about a couple of inches on the rear. No idea why, just one of the things they did. On the spare wheel carrier, the cover was a sticker. It wasn't imprinted or anything like that. It was just a very smooth cover with a Discovery plate over the top. And that's pretty much all of the little tweaks. On my vehicle, it has sun blinds in the back.
Oh, nice.
These were never available to buy.
That's a really good extra, though.
Yes, yes. Well, on this car, it appeared to be up-spec'd at the launch, so they wanted it to look better than it did. So it came with a V8 metallic silver-esque paint. It's not actually metallic, but it looks very similar.
I'm enjoying this, by the way. So you might be liking this, but a lot of this stuff I just love hearing. It doesn't matter what I know and what I don't know, I just like hearing it. It's like-minded people, you see. When you meet like-minded people, you just want to like go and live with them and stuff because other people just don't get you. This was an award-winning vehicle.
It was, yeah.
The people who gave the awards knew as well that Land Rover designers were working with basically the parts bin.
Yes, yeah, they were. Yeah, which is why you've got your Austin Metro handles, the same lights on the front. And on the rear,
Montego,
yeah, Maestro, you had the Maestro logo and Land Rover logo in the rear light. And that's only on early vehicles as well, because obviously later on the Maestro went out of production. And so you can tell the difference of an early one to a late one because of that stamp. But the coolest thing, which is on that you'll get an appreciation as the driver, is the walnut stickers.
Wow.
On the switch.
So it's real fake walnut.
Real fake walnut, and also a little fake wooden stereo surround. But because it had air conditioning and a V8 engine, no sunroofs, which was quite unusual, they tried to up-spec this one just to make it look a bit more fancy.
Did they put the phone in, or was that later?
So it had a phone at some point, and I felt you're never going to get rid of those holes unless you replace the dashboard, but because it's an early one I didn't want to do that. But I found the correct period, early 90s Panasonic phone, and I thought it just looked right.
Nice. And what, the colours, because they did brown and they did this, what were the actual colours called?
Well, so to start with, this is Sonar Blue.
Sonar Blue.
They only ever did Sonar Blue. They then went on to Bahama Gold.
Well, the interior colour.
The interior colour, yeah. Bahama beige,
well.
Bahama beige, I think it was, gold or beige, one of the two, which then became the more popular colour. But one thing I found driving this a lot is that grey's great, black's nice, beige, alright. Blue makes such a difference to their ambient feel of the cabin. It makes it feel so much lighter and less oppressive. And it's just such a nice place to be driving this car.
Prism blue then?
Yeah, well, sort of prism blue, yeah, prism blue. And it's just a really nice feel inside the car. And I think it's something that was very much lost when it went later on, we became more black and grey. And, you know.
You got to admit, 80s was a little bit adventurous as well.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Absolutely was. Yeah.
Right. Health and safety was a distant rumour, and style was a bit more. Now, what's this blue called again?
The Sonar Blue.
So
Conrad Interiors. So Conrad Design. There was a few quirky things that never made it into production that Conrad was proposing. So in the centre of the steering wheel, it's going to have a sunglasses holder.
I heard about that.
Yeah. So that was one of the things that they were considering. And I mean, as everyone knows, in a disco you've got like a map holder up here.
Yeah.
There was a few other ideas that never quite made it. There are some videos floating around of all the different design ideas that they did come up with.
If there was any French elements like Citroen, and you put the petrol in through there, you know. And this is like that. Doesn't that same designer have like a pattern in the seatbelts and certain things like that?
Yes.
Like
Yeah. And also this was one of the patterns, one of the design cues that was done by Land Rover, because the guy at the time was mad about golf. So this was the golf ball pattern that carried over, and obviously it's on the steering wheel as well.
Yeah.
Why does it look like a golf ball? Because that's what the guy really liked at the time.
Right, and all this patterning, which is even on the V5 booklet thing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so
that's the same designer's idea, is it?
Yeah. So they all had the same design everywhere, so they use that same fabric as much as possible. And then even on the man bag, which again,
the man bag's awesome.
Started off as blue before it went to the beige, and obviously later on the hard cubby box. So yeah.
And death stick trays as well.
Yes.
That's definitely something that was lost in time now, isn't it?
Yeah. Parsonage
and they worked better than anything else. Those ashtrays worked better than anything else.
But you couldn't empty it.
Oh god, yeah, that was a good point. It doesn't come out, does it?
No, it doesn't come out.
Vacuum cleaner.
Well, yeah, one of the.
Does this have electric mirrors?
It does have electric mirrors. Yeah, so that was a standard on the Discovery. Was power steering and electric mirrors.
What a
electric windows as well.
Would you say this is one of the greatest Land Rovers have built in terms of just concept and?
I think they designed things at the time to move things on. They've always done that, and they're doing it even now.
Yeah.
So this vehicle came out with stuff that wasn't available even as standard from Japanese manufacturers, which of course this is what this was here to compete with. So this was purely here to compete with your Isuzu Troopers and your Mitsubishi Shoguns and things. It was a market that they needed to capitalise in. So what did they do? They offered stuff they didn't have, and it sold in droves because of it. You know, the coil spring Range Rover chassis, most of the Range Rover underpinnings are there. On the early car like this one, this has got a Range Rover chassis, and that can be proven because it's got a circular cross member rather than a rectangular one, which is what they had later on. So yeah, there's a lot that came out as standard that nobody else was doing, and that's why they've always pushed things forward, Land Rover.
Which no one likes stagnation.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely. If they came out with coil springs and with leaf springs and no power steering, you know, it would be up in arms of what's this rubbish they've rolled out now. But because it came out with coil springs, it came out with power steering, it came out with all of the things that were deemed as luxury at the time. I mean, when this is 1989, power steering wasn't a standard feature at that time. It moved things on.